You can pick up this and touch it and know that it was in his hands. Now, doesn't that send a chill down your back?
It does.
Yeah.
This freedom paper belonged to Joseph Trammell of Loudoun County, Virginia. He was the great-great-great-grandfather of 83-year-old Elaine Thompson. Trammell protected his freedom using this tin box, knowing the paper held his only proof that he was no longer enslaved, no longer someone's property.
As long as he had this, they could not enslave him. Not easily, anyway.
His freedom paper, Thompson says, offers an image of who Joseph Trammell was during a time when photos were rare. He was 5 feet 7 inches in height, with several marks on his body.
One thing that I was curious about was the scars that they mentioned. I figured, probably he was beaten at some point.
The tin box is the only one like it here. During our interview, founding director of the museum, Lonnie Bunch, came by to personally show his appreciation.
Well,
means a lot to me, it really does.
Thank you for wanting it and displaying it.
Nearly 40,000 items were donated. That's more than any other Smithsonian museum. Pictures, clothing, furniture, jewelry, various exhibits and artifacts bring African American history and culture to life. Curator Paul Gardulo calls each one of these personal heirlooms treasures.
Without the collections, we don't have a museum. They fill vast silences in the record that aren't told any other way. Experiences that you can't get in books, experiences that you can't see on the big screen or the little screen. These are things that are irreplaceable and priceless.
But many of these cherished keepsakes have a way of churning up old wounds.
My dad flew 149 missions during World War II. 50 missions were the norm. Now, white guys were going home after 50 missions.
Rosemary Crockett donated this jacket. It belonged to her father, the late Lieutenant Colonel Woodrow Wilson Crockett. He was a member of the Tuskegee Airmen, the first group of black military personnel to fight in World War II.
When they came back from overseas, they came off the Liberty ship and there was a sign saying white this way, colored that way. They have just been overseas, they have stayed longer than the white guys, and they get back to the same, you would have to bleep that out, situation that they left.
And sharing that important history to future generations keeps people like Rosemary Crockett and Elaine Thompson giving what's left of a story that should never be forgotten.
For people who look at some of these artifacts or even these very painful times and say, slavery's over, we should move forward, why do we have to keep talking about it? What do you say to that?
The past is never over because it influences what people do later on. Young people today, they're letting other people inform who they are rather than, having a real sense of pride in what they're doing themselves.
And this museum helps to create that?
I do think so. I do think it does.